On this episode of Girl Talk. I hope your popcorn's full and your schedule's clear because we might be binge watching Netflix. Also to come on Girl Talk the Real Deal. Some are good, some are bad, and some are just downright awful. Those are the pickup lines. There's crying, there's laughing, and boys just downright dread them. Yeah, we're going to be talking about chick flicks. We got a lot to cover, so let's go.
Hello, and welcome to Girl Talk, the real deal. I'm Allison Malone.
And I'm Cleanna Moore. Let's get right into it and talk about something a lot of us know all too well, Netflix. Netflix is popular among many college students. Students have their favorite shows that they spend countless hours watching. Netflix has over 9,000 titles that include movies, TV series, and documentaries. According to expandingramblings.com, the average Netflix user spends 93 minutes a day watching. We asked around campus to find out how much students were watching here.
I absolutely love Netflix. Thankfully, I signed up on a free account, so that's when the addiction really started. It's really useful as a stress relief. I especially like doing it when I'm doing homework and I can just listen to it and just listen to the shows. It's just very calming for me. It's also really nice, like when I'm done with homework, I've had a long day at school, and then I can just sit and just watch some of my favorite shows. I usually limit myself, otherwise I can get really wrapped up in binge watching on a whole season of shows, which a lot of my friends do, and I'm trying to stay away from that. But I allot myself maybe an hour or two at most each day, and then once that's done, I cut myself off from it.
Netflix can take a lot of college students' time if they're not careful. Allison, how often do you watch Netflix?
I watch Netflix pretty often. It's always really late at night because that's the only time that I have time to actually look at it. And I just watch old TV shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and just old movies, new movies too. I like horror movies, and it's fun. It's fun to do.
Laptop or phone?
Laptop, my iPad.
iPad.
Unfortunately, I don't have anything to connect with the TV, so
Yeah,
I just watch it on my iPad.
HDMI cord. I really need one of those because when I really watch mine on my phone, but I don't own an iPad, unfortunately. But Netflix is really convenient for all the throwback episodes like Fresh Prince, a lot of old TV shows that we don't get to watch on TV nowadays.
Right, and they're really quick to put up some new movies now,
Mm-hmm.
which is also a plus. So if you miss out on a movie or can't get it from family video or whatnot, you can just watch it on Netflix and get some popcorn, call some friends over, and it's a nice night.
Make an event out of it.
Exactly.
Right? Something to do.
Procrastination is a word that is not uncommon with college students. However, procrastinating on a project or homework can actually greatly affect your grades if you are waiting last minute to do things. According to lifehacks.com, here are a few tips to stop you from procrastinating and getting your work done on time. First off, break up your work and create a timeline. Dedicated specifically days to doing parts of the project so you are not crammed into doing everything last minute. Next, change your environment and only hang out with people who inspire you to take action. Find an environment that will allow you to focus on your work without any type of distractions. Thirdly, clarify your goals and don't be afraid to ask someone for help. Sometimes a little help from someone who has been in a similar situation goes a long way. Finally, stop overcomplicating things and get your work done. Most people spend a lot of time thinking about what they want to accomplish instead of actually working towards their accomplishment. Find the motivation you need to get a head start and then don't give up. Cleanna, do you usually procrastinate on your work?
I'm guilty. I procrastinate all the time. I pretty much feel like it helps me. It pushes me to work harder and work to my best ability because I know it's due the next day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not good with someone giving me an assignment 2 weeks ahead of time because I'll still wait till like the day before it's due to complete it. You know, it's kind of like my motivation to know I have to get it done because it's due tomorrow. So I procrastinate a lot. It's not good, and I try to change it every year, every semester for school assignments.
It doesn't happen.
It just doesn't work for me. I think it's really my to get my work done. So I think it helps with different people.
Yeah, definitely with communication majors. So I heard with communication majors, we like to procrastinate so much.
Because we think it's easy?
Possibly. I don't know. I don't really know about that. I don't know what the myth is exactly, but
I think different assignments we may procrastinate on. I think if we know it's going to take longer, we may not procrastinate, but if we think that it's going to be easy, we procrastinate on it a lot more.
yeah, definitely. I procrastinate like no other. It's really sad, but I mean, like you said, it motivates me to, actually get it done, knowing that it's due in a couple of days or the next day. So that's a great motivator.
Yeah, sometimes
Not
you got to
good.
pull those all-nighters.
Yeah, definitely. I just did that last night, actually. Horrible experience.
Along the lines of procrastination comes all-nighters. All-nighters are the results of severe procrastination in which students will stay up all night the night before a test or homework is due in order to finish studying or finish the work. Not only does all night affect your ability to focus the next day, but it can also become a problem for your health. It is a reoccurring incident. Allison, do you pull all-nighters, and does it affect your performance the next day?
Yeah, like I was just saying, I actually just did that last night, and I stayed up all night working on this paper. It was like another
What
assignment.
class was it?
It was for religion. Yeah, so that was rough, but I got my stuff done. That's the most important thing. Unfortunately, I may not got my stuff done in another class, but at least I got the paper done for the actual, class that I need to get it done.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
That's why I say different assignments, different topics requires a little bit more time, a little less time. So depending on what we pick and choose to procrastinate on is pretty much determines our work. So if it took you hours on a religion assignment versus a communications assignment, you probably would know, you know what I'm saying? You would know the difference. Like a communication assignment, you might feel like you would get done faster.
Yeah, definitely. Well, pulling all-nighter could be caused by waiting till last minute to get your homework done. Homework is what many college students dread doing because they feel forced to take their time out of their lives to complete assignments. Students often forget homework is assigned to help teach skills and lessons to prepare them for the future in their careers. Liana, what are the methods that you do when getting your homework done?
One thing I do is definitely cut everything off. I'm not good with like listening to music and doing homework. I'm not good with talking on the phone. I like to put my phone on silent, cut my music off. No company unless I know my company is as focused as I am or as determined as I am to get that assignment done.
Right.
And just really beating myself. That's really how I get a lot done. So no distractions. I'm easily distracted, especially by my phone. So as long as I keep my phone away, music away, people away, that's pretty much how I get my homework done.
See, I'm actually the opposite. Well, I have to listen to music. I got to have some type of music going on, so I feel like...
I honestly think it's the type of music. You know, one time I did do homework before listening to, like, Beethoven. That helped. But, like, rap, R&B, hip-hop, different type of other genres of music, I start tuning in with them and singing along and lose focus on my work.
Yeah, I often find myself going to the computer lab, so that helps a lot also.
Social media sites have begun to take over the world. From Facebook and Twitter to Snapchat and Yik Yak, many different applications have been designed to do a variety of things, and with the touch of a button, all of these sites can be accessed directly through a smartphone. However, putting your phone away in class may be the better idea.
It's really, really distracting. I know in the classroom, I tend to gravitate towards going on Facebook if it's a boring topic, or I see other students just constantly on their phones, not even paying attention to the professor.
Do you think social media has become a big distraction in the classrooms?
Absolutely. There's no question about that. I mean, I'm on my phone a couple times.
So you're guilty.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it. But I think everybody's guilty of it. Like, I mean, I believe there are some students that actually put it away, but that's very, very rare.
Actually, this semester in the communication classes, they've become really strict with phones. So, like if you're seen with a phone, the whole class gets an assignment. So I think that is what really helped me put my phones away.
Right. Okay. Well, coming up, we'll talk about silly little things called a crush.
And why being single isn't always such a bad thing. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
QUTV is more than a news outlet.
1 in 5 undergrads work at least 35 hours a week, year-round.
Students involved with QUTV learn life lessons, create lasting memories, and gain the experience needed to succeed in future careers. Students need to be involved with QUTV as a viewer or as a participant because we need to know what's going on around our campus. Knowledge is powerful, and QUTV News serves to inform not only the students, but the Quincy University community as a reliable and powerful news network.
You know that butterfly feeling you get in your stomach when a cute guy or cute girl walks by? That's right, we're talking about crushes. Crushing on a boy or girl can make a girl do things she wouldn't normally do while engaging in a regular conversation. We asked one senior lady, what does she do while she talks to her crush?
I'm going to start answering that question by telling you what I don't do. And I definitely don't do all those things you see in the movies, like act silly or stupid, drop my books, act like I'm helpless, and things like that. What I really like to think I do is just act normal. Just be Julie. That's the best thing you can do.
Do you have any signature moves when talking to your crush?
One thing I do, I turn red. I turn red. When I'm talking to someone I like or I think is cute, I blush really hard. I turn red. Or I smile a lot, like to the point where my cheekbones are hurting. But besides that, I don't really have any, special techniques like winking or, anything like that. But
nothing to make it really
awkward. Yeah, nothing to make it awkward, but it's really obvious when I turn red and when I'm just like smiling uncontrollably.
I feel like I do the same. I smile a lot and I may laugh a lot for no reason.
Yeah, I think that might. Allison, you got to work on the laughing uncontrollably. I think that might make it a little awkward. Because what if he's saying something that's not really funny, but you're laughing?
I mean, I can control it though, but it's just, if it's not like funny, I just find myself laughing. I'm like, why did I just laugh at that?
Okay. While it may not be as common for a woman to use the pickup lines on a man, it is very common for a woman to have heard at least one pickup line in her lifetime. As cheesy as they may be, AskMen.com compiled a list of the most effective pickup lines that have worked on women, including, what material this is. It's boyfriend material. What are some of your favorite pickup lines, and have any of them worked on you, Allison?
One of my favorite pickup lines would have to be, I think it's like, are you a 10? Because you the only 10 I see. No, are you from Tennessee?
Because you're the only 10 I see.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. I've heard that one before. Another one is, I think like, do you have a phone? Because my mom told me to call when I fall in love, or something like that. I'm just like, that's just so corny.
Yeah, it never really worked on me. I mean, honestly, nobody's ever approached me.
I think they're cute, but I don't think they work for me. They're cute, though. The attempt is cute. So.
Yeah, nobody actually approached me saying like a cheesy line like that. But
if the pickup line worked, could it mean falling in love? We took a closer look. Flowers, cards, and candy are all romantic gestures, but falling in love is more than material items. Love is a feeling caused by emotion, and actions speak louder than words.
It's a great feeling being in love is when you always have that person to talk to. You know, you can go to anything about it anytime. And when you hang up the phone and they call back later because they can't sleep or they just miss hearing your voice, and just that special person you know who's thinking about you at all times. It's great being in love.
Allison, what are your thoughts about falling in love?
My thoughts would have to be it's something that is natural, something that shouldn't have to be forced. I feel like you'll just know. Everybody wants to ask the question, am I in love? Am I in love? I feel like you will just know. So,
have you ever been in love?
Have I ever been in love?
Let's be honest.
Well, yes, at a certain age, what I thought love was, yes, I have.
Okay.
But not real love.
I would agree.
When you fall out of love, you may find yourself dealing with an ex. Even though the relationship is over, problems don't always end with a goodbye. Sometimes it takes weeks and rare occasion months for both parties to understand that it is okay and it is okay to move on, and it takes time while doing so.
Well, once you say goodbye to an ex, is it really over? I guess that would depend on the girl and I guess your entire situation. If it was a good breakup, I would say it's not goodbye forever. If it was a bad breakup, I would say it's goodbye forever. It really depends on what you want as a girl in your relationship. If you want him to keep coming back and kind of putting that feeling back in you, then I guess that's on you. But if you want to have a clean break, then I would say goodbye forever is probably the best way to go.
So, do you have any experience dealing with your ex?
I'm very close to one of my exes. I'm not too friendly or fond with any of my exes besides one. We're really good friends. And I feel like that's because we were best friends before we were together. Other than that, no.
Yeah, I feel like people can definitely keep a friendship with their ex. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing really wrong with that, but just know your boundaries and know that there is no going back.
Always know your boundaries. It's a difference and a thin line between being friendly and being too friendly. You
Absolutely.
know, always know your boundaries, especially, if you're in a relationship and your ex is, single or in a relationship, just keep it to the point where they know that they can't cross that line. Exactly. Don't leave it open to where they think they have another chance or opportunity.
Mm-hmm. I agree. A relationship isn't always the way to go. Being independent can be hard to do, but it is not impossible. Independence can be achieved with the correct mindset and strong will to do so. Being independent helps you focus on what you have going on in your life, and a significant other isn't necessarily for happiness. What are some views on independence for you?
I actually would definitely agree with what you just said. Like, being single helps, or being independent helps you get a lot more done. You're not too mushy up under or want to be up under your spouse or your boyfriend. It's just, I think it's a lot easier to deal with. I mean, I know those late nights you might want to cuddle or be with a significant other. Yeah, it might get a little lonely, but it helps you to wake up earlier in the morning. It helps you be on time for class, and it helps you go to work. So I feel like being single, plus we're young, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we get older, maybe it'll be much needed, but we have so much living to do and so much time to get things done now that I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah, independence is great. You can find yourself more, get more into your career. So overall, good thing to be independent.
I would agree. Coming up, we'll talk about what things we do to stay busy on campus.
And how eating disorders can affect your life long term. We'll be right back.
Yes. Growing up, I had one deaf friend, and that was the only deaf person I knew before coming to school here at QU. And now I regularly get to hang out and socialize with the deaf community, which has been awesome. Sign language isn't exactly like learning another spoken language, because you use your body, facial expressions, your hands are your instruments. So It is definitely learning a new language. It has its own grammar and syntax and everything. It's not exactly like English like a lot of people think it is.
Living on campus can be a hassle in itself. However, transportation can be an entirely new challenge. Bikes, buses, and cars are the most efficient way to make it around off campus. But many college students don't have a bike or a car to college. So how do you get around? We got the scoop.
Well, I don't have a car on campus, and it is difficult sometimes. There's a shuttle that goes back to North Campus and back to main campus, so I take that if I have classes, which is pretty nice. There's also a shuttle that takes you around Quincy, but I've never been on that. I have a lot of friends that have cars, and my boyfriend has a car, so it makes it a lot easier to get around Quincy that way. Really, the difficulty is going back home since I'm kind of far up in Wisconsin. It's hard for me to get home a lot of times, so I have to find rides, or otherwise I can take the train. There's an Amtrak station in Quincy, which is really convenient as well for students.
Not having a car is definitely hard for me, so how do you get around?
Well, definitely friends. Friends is like the #1 thing. Friends with cars, try to make friends with cars. Boyfriend, pretty much that's it. Friends and boyfriend that's the easiest way.
Yeah, definitely. Your friends definitely do be clutch when it comes to getting around, especially if you got to go somewhere important.
And then sometimes it's just convenient, you know. It turns into an outing, just a friend outing.
Right.
And the bonus and benefit of having a boyfriend with a vehicle if you have one. So.
Yeah, that's definitely a plus, definitely.
Staying busy on campus may seem to be a struggle after classes have ended for the day. However, one simple way to stay busy is to pick up a hobby. Hobbies on campus can include attending new fit classes, riding a bike, or even watching Netflix.
So my hobbies include knitting. I like to knit a lot. I can do sweaters, gloves, hats, scarves. So just when I'm getting bored, I just like to bring out my knitting needles and knit. I also really enjoy pizza and Netflix on Friday nights and stuff. So.
What are some of your hobbies, Allison?
Wow, I like to do a lot of things. I'm an active person, so I like to, stay healthy and play some basketball, shoot some hoops. I also like to do a little poetry.
So you may be interested in the new fit. What is that? What is the new fit?
I'm not sure what that is.
We might have to check that out.
Yeah, definitely.
I haven't been in my active zone lately, but I'm going to get back in the gym. Summer's around the corner. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's just so many things that you can do. Also, like I do film editing, so that's also a hobby for me.
Definitely.
What are some hobbies for you?
Basically, you covered them all. I pretty much listen to music most of my time. I really enjoy music. I might keep up with entertainment on my phone, dancing. So
that's it.
Chick flicks are a way for girls to unwind and relax on nights when they're not busy working on homework. What chick flicks are most popular? We asked around campus to find out.
My favorite chick flick is Sweet Home Alabama, and just because I'm a country girl at heart, and I love the movie. I don't know exactly why, but I watch it all the time.
My favorite chick flick is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, because it's just really sweet and it's really funny, and Matthew McConaughey is hot. I would have to say Pretty Woman. It's my favorite because it's like the modern version of Cinderella, even though, there's a little strangeness between the Cinderella and the prostitute, but Richard Gere is a pretty good looking actor, even though he's kind of
My favorite chick flick is A Walk to Remember. I like A Walk to Remember because it brings them closer to a higher good. So their relationship is actually helping them. It's not destroying them in any way. And in the end, when she dies, sorry, like spoiler alert, when she dies, he still goes on and he becomes like the best person he can be. So he still keeps his relationship with God. He continues and goes on to medical school. So it's not just like a story about like, oh, we love each other so much and we're so infatuated with each other. Because of that, everything's perfect. It's actually a story centered around like something higher than ourselves and how to grow and to become a better person. But it still incorporates that like romantic love that we all like desire in life. So yeah, I like to watch and remember. It's a good story.
My favorite chick flick is probably Pride and Prejudice because in the beginning they both don't like each other because they have different ideas of the other person, and throughout the entire film they learn who the other person really is and come to love that.
Allie, what's your favorite chick flick?
It would have to be To Could Play That Game. Morris Chestnut, beautiful. He's a beautiful man.
I would agree.
Well, life may be overwhelming sometimes and prove to be that it can be too much to handle. That is why we're here at Girl Talk, recommending and taking on mental health days. Mental health days are planned ahead by the student in which school, work, and other obligations are put aside to focus on oneself. Do something that you enjoy or relax for the day without worrying to ease your mind and calm your nerves.
Try to break down what I have to do and not look at one thing at a time instead of the whole huge list of things. And sometimes eating a piece of chocolate is good too.
Remember, try to plan your mental health day ahead of time so you don't miss out on anything important. So, what do you do when you start to feel a little overwhelmed at times?
The number one thing I do is take a deep breath. I feel like we don't do that often. We don't take the time out to just breathe and relax and calm down and really write out or document how much we have to do or get done. Because everything in our mind is just like, it's a lot, it's a lot, it's a lot. But if we take the time to write it down, breathe, and relax, I feel like we'll realize it's not that much to be done.
Exactly, I agree. Coming in first with the highest mortality rate of psychologist disorder, anorexia nervosa, and other eating disorders affect nearly 20 million women and 10 million men in the United States alone. Also, and as the need to be thin grows stronger without society, girls and women are striving to be sticky, thin, and gain models' bodies type. However, the obsession with the outside beauty is killing them. Anorexia causes an abnormal, slow heart rate, reducing of bone density, muscle loss and weakness, and severe dehydration, as well as many other devastating health risks. Why do you think so many women are affected by eating disorder, and what advice would you give them to stop?
Well, for one, I would definitely agree that having the model type body or model figure is what messes with a lot of young women and having the eating disorder. I would say, and I would suggest to those young women, is just eat. Basically, just don't go off what you see on TV. You know what I'm saying? The body that you have and that you're blessed with, it is what you take care of. Because if you were made or God wanted you to be a size 5 or whatever size of model wear, then that's what you would be. And at the same time, if you're big, work out. You know what I'm saying? If you're skinny, embrace it. Just be you. At the end of the day, don't try to go off what someone else's look like, because you're not gonna look like them at the end of the day.
Just love the skin that you're in.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better.
Exactly. Well, that wraps up our episode of Girl Talk, The Real Deal.
We hope you enjoy our show, and for all you ladies out there, keep it real.